We were working on legal information, and Matthew, get up here. Matthew, Paul, Rachel, where's the rest of my team? Oh, hi, Ewan. We spend a lot of time at the beginning, which Matthew tells me is the right thing to do, defining the problem and talking about how it is that people actually understand legal issues and what things go wrong when they ask in different ways. And we went around and around on some of those things until we finally got to a place where we think instead of the widget that I was asking for at the beginning, we looked at creating just a quick badge that gets people to a pop-up overlay. Is that right? What's that? I'm working on it. And that would create a different way to search through and understand people and generate for people a report on some ways for them to take action. So Matthew's going to walk us through that.
So part of the problem was that people will be searching all over different legal websites and they won't necessarily go to one that's about their problem. So we're trying to figure out a way of getting natural language queries, or just the way people ask a legal question and what they actually mean by that. So for example, you might start off with, should I tell my boss I'm pregnant, right? Because you might be afraid of what the legal ramifications are. So you type that in, it highlights the words boss and pregnant, figures like you're talking about employment, you're talking about discrimination regarding pregnancy. It makes sure that that's actually what you mean. And then the next clarifying question in that series would be are you part of a union? Because that'll be an entirely different set of laws regarding that. And then from there, what we do is make sure that you have your postal code so you can get local legal resources instead of for the entire province. And you have different things like languages, check all that apply, income bracket, and the type of help that you might want, such as online resources, or in print, or in person, and your level of confidence in dealing with it. So if you want to do it all yourself, do you need a professional help? And it would display these things such as web resources, clinics that you can call or go to, and based on your income bracket, whether or not you qualify for certain free legal aid. And also things like mediation to just prevent you from going directly into a criminal case when you don't really need to. As well as common questions and documents and questions about paying your legal bill that a lot of people have but never quite always think to ask. And then at the end you can just email it to yourself and you get an action report about everything.
So I can tell you what I learned as the non-technical person in the room. I'm really excited about the idea that we know everyone needs some print or some text resources to learn about something. Everyone needs some places to get started and some options, but they don't all need the same thing just because of the legal topic. So being able to use those filters to different degrees, depending on someone wants to, lets them tell us more or less if they want to. If you want to choose 3 languages, great. If you want to keep all the languages open and have 2,000 employment resources, there's a lot of flexibility there for people to be comfortable with different amounts of information and different privacy. We talked a lot about the user interface and trying to create some different ways to test it. And different people in our group really thought that some people would want to see all of this, see their searches, and then see how refining the searches changed it. And other people would find that really intimidating and want some nice clean boxes and one question at a time. Others really thought that too many questions is going to make people just want to give up and not work on it. So we would want to get this searchability functional and then start to test it in those different ways with different audiences. And probably in the end would land on a couple of interfaces, knowing that, say, if it went on a law firm website, they might want something that looks really clean and modern and doesn't affect the branding of their website, where a community resource might be really happy for it to be full of links that connect to other things because they know they're dealing with people who make those connections. So I've learned some of what I need to know more of, and certainly what we would need to test a lot more. But we're on the right track. The other part that I think is really exciting is that it could generate something called an action report. Go and take action on something, and people could walk into their first meeting with a lawyer with a document that has some terminology in it that they've already read, and they don't feel quite so intimidated to say, what about this thing that it said in the report? rather than just generating a Google list of links that you don't ever follow. So I'm really excited about where this goes. Thanks.